Today I'm getting into the rhythms of life. I am reading a little bit out of my notes. I just want to get this started on the right foot for y'all. So let me read through this real quick and we'll get into today's program. It's not just about the seasonal shift, but a reality check of what's important for our survival and for our peace of mind. We are becoming anti-consumerism and relying on our own skills to create and maintain our own food. Y'all see a lot of that on my channel. Food's organically raised and processed right here on the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. And y'all, I am sweating. It is hot out here today. Hot and humid. We are on a 1.5 acre homestead in West Tennessee, and we are in growing zone 7B. Our garden is thriving so far, but we are behind on our planting. My husband had an injury earlier this year that knocked him out of work for about 3 weeks and put everything else on hold while he recovered. But we are now prepared to tackle the next planting season head on, if we can get past all this rain, and get our back lot plowed up and ready to plant directly into the ground. Most of my plants are in mineral buckets. Y'all see that on most of my videos because I do have herniated disc in my lower back and I have weak legs. I have polyneuropathy from that, so y'all know all about that. Hey y'all, welcome to episode 41, Homestead Happenings. I'm Susan at the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Grab you something hot or cold to drink and settle into a comfy chair. In case you're wondering, I'm putting out a little bit of peppermint essential oil to make me think this room is actually cooler than it is. Have you ever stopped to read a food label? Grocery stores are full of so-called natural flavors added. But what exactly are they putting in our food? Food produced in factories that are literally hundreds to thousands of miles from the actual products in those cans. Let's talk about the freezer meals in cardboard or plastic containers, offering you a make-it-home fix for hunger and promising for it to last years in your freezer. Somewhere along the way, we sold our need for nutritious, bodybuilding, real foods for convenience. The Amish live by the rhythm of the seasons. They know when to plant, when to harvest, and how to preserve food, just like our grandparents and great-grandparents did. By the way, I'm reading Amish Off-Grid Survival Guide, 90 Days to Simple Living with Old World Living, Off-Grid Projects, and Self-Reliant Skills by Daniel Miller. It's a book that I picked up off Amazon. I'm also reading my Bible and praying. It's 2 of my morning rituals. It's a great prepping library book for your home. I'm not affiliated, but sharing it with you in case you are interested in becoming less dependent on our world system and more independent with life skills. Currently, I'm on chapter 7. It talks about real food and real skills. Convenience foods are poisoning us. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Our health is our biggest asset, and yet we take it for granted. Pretty often, it's colorful packaging, commercials that entice us to buy, and the overflowing shelves of the grocery stores are full of convenience. Here on the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, we have stepped away from the norm of today. With my health issues, I really began to look at our food and environmental issues. Like most of you, I bought into the convenience lies, and now I'm paying for it. Rhythms of life include meals. It includes the ritual of planting seeds, tending crops, and harvesting in abundance. It costs very little at first. A pack of seeds, a spade, and sweat equity. Water and sunshine. Water, sunshine, and good soil do the rest. In this rhythm, we are actively taking part in the growing, the nurturing of our food. It becomes real, tangible food that will be nutritious for us, and in some cases, it will heal us. Genesis 1:11 and 12, King James Version, and also verse 29. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is within itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth the grass and the herbs yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. God's plan included all of our nutrition that we would need for health and healing. But Satan tricks us into believing his lies and uses man, who is of a weak mind, to do his dirty work. I could do a whole devotional on that subject alone. The point is that for too many years, we bought the convenience over our health. Today, each organic heirloom seed that is planted, I'm regaining the rhythm of life that God planned for each of us, the way back in Genesis chapter 1. The rhythms of the homestead kitchen. On the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, you will find me in my kitchen most of the time. For me, it is the hub of the home, with actively preparing meals, preserving our harvest, and even preparing and preserving the excess the Amish farmers produce. I'm adding new skills to my preparations, like bread making, cheese and cultured foods, and fermented foods. We use our dehydrator, canner, and tools to help build a sustainable home pantry. Simple basic foods that sustain us. I also have a home apothecary, that is for building the minor medical needs. Here you see me trying to put this sink that we ordered online back in the box to return it because it came in dented. The rhythms include homemade cleaners, soaps, and other personal care items that are natural and safer for the environment and for us than any of the stuff on the store shelves. Plus, I'm cutting waste like plastic bottles and endless containers from our trash. Spring is a time of rebirth and renewal. We see chicks hatching and thriving. We see the first signs of spring in the robins and the buttercups pushing through the soil. The air is still brisk, and we begin to itch to get our hands into the garden and plant this year's crops. Over the winter months, our pantry shelves are emptying out. We take stock in what we need to grow and the types of food we need to prepare to fill those gaps. A good pantry will allow us to have a variety of meals, vegetables, beans, soups, condiments, along with dry goods and herbs. From there, we can be creative in our meal planning. Believe it or not, but two people do not need as much food as I have canned. The pantry also makes great gifts. The pantry is also my personal grocery store. Summer brings on tending our garden, and we start to see the harvest early on, like my asparagus bed. Asparagus takes time to cultivate, a 2 to 3 year period before the first harvest, but it will feed you all of your life if you tend to it properly. Also, planting fruit vines like berries or trees, such as apples or peaches, will provide a lifetime of fresh fruit. One of my favorites are Kefir pears, an heirloom pear tree that makes delicious preserves. Fruit adds natural sweetness to our lives. I was so excited to see the wild muscadine vines found on our property blooming It will be our first year with our own grape orchard. Fall brings us an abundant harvest time. We are busy collecting everything out of the garden and preserving as much as we possibly can do. It's the time of year that I dry most of my perennial herbs that have been established. Herbs for medicinal apothecary teas and tinctures, and culinary herbs for cooking. By establishing an herb garden, we no longer are buying store-bought seasonings and herbs, but curing it ourselves and making our own seasoned blends without all the additives. Fall also means yard work, as the trees will shed leaves, and cleaning up branches of the sugar maple tree so that our roof won't be damaged. It's also a time to prep the garden. This past spring, we took down 6 pear trees because they are all softwood and break easily. They would have become a hazard on our property. We are hoping to finish the tree downing in the winter and spring months ahead. Winter months, we slow down and don't focus on the outside, but on the inside activities. I enjoy sewing, so most of my sewing is done in the winter months. It's a perfect time to work a puzzle, read books, or just enjoy the winter holidays. It's a time we really enjoy the harvested blessings on our table. Winter months, we plan our garden for the upcoming season. We plan what we need to accomplish in the next year, and we review what worked for us and what didn't. We do a self-assessment as well. Is our health any better? We worry about our flocks when we have snow and ice. The work of caring for them becomes a ritual of making sure the water is flowing because of ice. We need to break it up. And plenty of fresh feed with herbs to help their immune systems and to keep their body warm. Collecting eggs before they freeze. And putting out leaves and hay to keep them warm in their coops. We look forward to spring, I think in January, but we still have some cold months ahead. My friend gave me some Currier and Ives metal scenes on trays of the 4 seasons, and now it hangs in Tennessee Elmina's kitchen. Not only are they nostalgic and beautiful, but it's a reminder that there is a rhythm of life that I was missing for years. For years it was survival mode mentality. Now it's a rhythm that brings hard work, joy, and peace. In my golden years, I'm finding the rhythm is linked to the seasons, to the sounds of an early morning crowing rooster, to the hens cackling as they lay eggs, to wild birds' happy songs, to a breeze blowing my curtains in our off-grid kitchen, to my husband coming home, to a hot pantry meal, to our dogs demanding treats and our cat too, to peaceful, unrushed mornings, to so tired I sleep all night routines. The thing that strikes me most is the years we wasted on convenience that we really didn't need or want. It's a simpler lifestyle, and it may not be for you, but it's less stress for us. One thing for sure is we never are bored. There's always one more project to get done, more vegetables and fruit to tend to, and more fur baby lovings to get done and to give. This is the new rhythm of life that has led to less food being wasted. Our chickens eat most of our scraps. What they can't eat gets tossed into the compost bin. I get more canning done by doing large batches. What we used to throw away in the trash, like bones, onion skins, and vegetable ends, become bone broth or vegetable broth. Leftovers may make it into tomorrow's casserole. The new skills learned are creating a no-waste kitchen. And I'm enjoying finding new wildcraft foods to add to our pantry, like the elderberry, You're looking at our blackberry vines. One of the hardest battles for my husband and I was getting on the same page to make our little homestead work. It's a work in progress. But learning the rhythm of life in a homestead world has caused both of us to grow in new ways. Our rhythm includes attending church, saying prayers over our meals, and remembering all we have, God has provided. Stepping away from consumerism to independence has been a challenge. It meant stripping away what we thought was good for us to what actually helps us in the long run. Our golden years are slowing us down so that we can enjoy the fruit of our labor as we transform our little 1.5 acres into a little piece of heaven on earth. Until next time, be blessed and a blessing. Check out the rest of our garden and the hidden surprise of elderberry on our property. Wildcrafting is something that I enjoy doing and looking for wild things that we can add to our pantry.